So I think right now what I'm just going to do is I'm going to talk through some of my process because I think it's nice to hear when someone is talking through some of the steps that they do in terms of how they develop ideas and create. And sometimes it's not necessarily the visual piece. Sometimes it's just you just want to hear how someone processes thoughts because creativity is a cognitive motion and a cognitive process that you develop this over time. And I always say that true creativity is your way of being innovative and coming up with fresh new ideas. And so it's a process that does not require necessarily for you to be an artist or a writer or someone who creates, because creativity is actually innate in us all. We just have to pull it out of us. And so when I think about a lot of the things that I'm working on right now and trying to develop, quite often I do often, run into the roadblocks of, hey, well, if this idea doesn't work, let's try a new idea. And so before you know it, you're onto something new. But I'm in a season right now in my life where I've done so many things creatively that, I'm not really out here trying to create any and everything. I'm trying to create value. And so a lot of the things that I create is building value around streamers, creators, artists, people who want to use their talent to do bigger and better things and greater things with their life by virtue of the abilities that they have. Now, here's the perspective with all of that. There's going to be a time where even if you are the greatest creator, that you need a process, you need structure, you need coaching. And so that's where I spend a lot of my time trying to develop tools around that, because I may not necessarily be there to coach you hands on every single day, but there's ways that I can still reach out and help you via either a development tool or a strategy or a plan that I have in process. So that's what I'm working on right now, to be honest. So I'm just going to take a moment here and trying to read through some things. There's a situation right now that's going on, and because I built this app and it's specific to certain experiences that I was trying to initially have users experience. Now I've had to challenge that idea and venture onto something else, and that's the real challenge that I'm having. I'm wanted to take it a different route, and it's going to require redevelopment, and that's almost like an ugly word. When it comes to trying to push out a product and you want it to be right, but at the same time, you don't want the product to be rushed. So I'm trying to figure this out in real time right now. Right. So this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep the scroll layout that I currently have for this platform I've been building And because it's basically it's an easier way for folks to get through all of the content and the information that I post and I give to them to strategize and in one long page. But I'm trying to create an app-like experience where it's a lot more intuitive. So you will see buttons that will take you to the places that you need to go. And by the way, I am using AI to help with a lot of the building part. But one of the things that I notice online that people don't share about using AI to build out tools is that you still have to understand code, and you still have to understand how code works together in order to get you to a certain goal. Now, you don't have to know code verbatim, meaning you don't have to understand the language fully in order to build something these days. AI is great for that. But where you will get stuck, I almost promise you, where you will get stuck is that you will build something that you cannot fix. And so just by virtue of that, you would have to have a freelance developer step in and help you, which could cause you to spend more money than you probably had planned in the beginning. So I think that AI is something that everyone should be diving into when it comes to building out tools and things that you want to push your ideas out there. But we got to get a lot more realistic with what these tools do, because more often than not, even when you get a complete idea coming from AI and you get to building it, what you're going to see is that there's going to be code in it that's going to be wrong. And you're telling AI the code is wrong because it's not working. And AI is going to tell you it is working. So you're going to be going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, trying to get AI to understand why the code is not working. And you know in real time it's not working because of the user experience that you're having. But AI doesn't understand information unless you are very particular in how you prompt it. So you will hopefully not, you don't get to this point, but you will get to a point where you just be like, forget it. Because once AI has made its mind up of when something is right, it's going to keep refuting what you're saying is wrong. And a lot of people don't mention those aspects of building websites, or not even websites, apps, platforms, anything with AI. You must have some type of foundation in the code, the language, or have a link to someone that can tell you, hey, you may want to check on that line. That's probably causing the issue. Just put this in AI. And that's one of the things that I found and I discovered even when I was using AI. And fortunately, I came from, in my previous time, I wouldn't call myself a website developer, but I did develop websites. I mean, it's not necessarily something that I was trying to do. It's just something that it was something that had to be done. And so I pushed myself to understand web development very early going out of the early 2000s and things of that nature, when I was in school, and I didn't want to pay the money for a web developer. So I said, I'm going to teach myself that. And now that I'm starting new ideas and I'm trying to use those ideas to help streamers, creators, those types of thinkers understand how they can better position themselves in their audience, I'm seeing that some of those experiences in the past come back now, because I know when something is wrong and when it's not. So it's very interesting. one of the things that will help you if you are doing what I'm doing, developing ideas through tools and using AI to help you through that, is making AI show you what the vision is before they give you a whole lot of code. Because a lot of times you will notice that behind the code that AI is trying to give you, you can piecemeal it together. You can take bits and pieces of it through design phases and not even have to structure anything with code. Just design it and then tell AI, this is what you want, and let AI figure out the code. But again, I urge you to still take baby steps so that you understand what you're building. You never want to build something that you can't fix yourself. So that would require a lot of mind mapping everything out. You know what your stack is, your tech stack. And by the way, the platform that I'm speaking of over and over again is called the Go Live Bootcamp. If you go to 𝐂𝐿ivebootcamp.com, you'll be able to get access to it. And any new updates, any new webinars that I do, any new get-togethers, because we will be doing some group activities as well. So it's just not a platform for learning better strategies for branding and marketing and things of that nature, but also it's almost think of it as a group that you can have the ability to sharpen your insight with other people as well. Iron sharpens iron perspective.